Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Lotus Spirit Tarot. My name is Shannon Colleen, and this is going to be your reading for your messages from your ancestors. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you come across this, that's when your ancestors want you to hear this message. Before we get started, I want to remind you not to forget to check out your weekly reading on the Moons and Runes channel, your rune reading for the week. The link is in the description box below. I do want to take a moment, Virgo, and thank each and every one of you for supporting this channel. All of your likes, your shares, your subscribes, all of your comments. I read each and every one, so thank you. If you have yet to subscribe, please feel free to do so, and don't forget to click that little bell. That bell not only notifies you of when Spirit and I upload a new reading, but also when we go live. And if you are interested in a personal reading, all of that information is also in the description box below. So Virgo, with that being said, let's go ahead and get an overall energy from your ancestors. Ancestors of Virgo, please show us clearly, what is the overall energy for this reading? What is it that you'd like Virgo to know? Ancestors of Virgo, please show us clearly, what is the overall energy here? Show us clearly. Woo, that came out really quick. Listen, guys, I love this card. It is the Sweat Lodge. It's one of my favorite cards that comes out in this deck. It is about shedding old things that do not serve us, okay? It truly is. It's one of the traditional ways in some of the American Indian tribes where they go in to that dark cave and sweat out the things that no longer serve you, right? And then you come out, into the light. So I love this. It represents, a rebirth, if you will. They put these stones in there, and they're heated, and they're brought into that lodge, and they let the heat off of them, and then you sit in there in complete darkness around these, really hot stones to sweat away old habits, old beliefs, to heal yourself. And when you return, you come out anew, right? You come out anew. So I really feel like, and we all have to do this very often in our lives. See, everybody thinks, Virgo, that it's like a one-time thing. No, big, little, doesn't matter. We often have to go into that sweat lodge to have that rebirth, to, again, let go of belief systems that no longer serve us, to let go of old pain, old hurts, to let go of habits that are not good, whether that is habits of sabotaging ourselves with mental thoughts, thinking we're not good enough. I mean, there's so many things that we go into the sweat lodge for, but they all result in a new beginning, right? In a fresh outlook. And so I love this. And so I do feel, Virgo, that they're saying, hey, it's time to release some of the things that you feel are dark, again, that could be shopping too much, eating too much. I mean, if we're going to go on to the physical habits, thinking too much, overthinking, thinking things that are not true of ourselves, letting go of, again, those belief systems, healing ourselves, right? It's time to go ahead and go in and come out the other side, right? And it's beautiful, right? It really is. Some of you, it's going to be a little bit bigger of things. Some of you, it's going to, be smaller things. But it ultimately is a gift for you when you do that. You are really being offered an opportunity from your ancestors right now to shed and heal from the aspects of your life that you've outgrown, right? I love this. I love this. I feel like for a lot of you, and you'll have to put it in the comments, these are some big things you need to let go of. For example, it could be, a belief that was installed into you by your parents or by, the media. And you're like, that just doesn't make sense to me anymore. Right? So again, it's going to be different for all of you, but you're shedding something here that just doesn't serve you anymore. It could be a relationship, right? It could be a friendship. It could be a love relationship romantically, but it doesn't always have to be something so big. For some of you, it is. Okay. For some of you, it is. But for others of you, it's just like, it might be like, well, it could be like me. Like I gave up caffeine. There's nothing wrong in my mind with caffeine. I drank a lot of caffeinated coffee for a long time, but there came a day where it just didn't serve me anymore. So it's going to be different for all of you Virgos out there. But it's time. I feel like they're just saying it's time. And this doesn't have to be a long, I mean, from what I understand, my limited knowledge of this, from what I understand, they don't go in there necessarily for days. I mean, some people do, I guess, but this could be, a few hour process for you. It could just be making the decision, like, I'm not going to have caffeine anymore, right? So whatever it is for you, but they're just saying it's time to have a rebirth in this area. So I love it. It's one of my favorite cards. It just really is. Some of you are going to take it a little bit literally. You're going to find that sauna and go into it. It's great, it's awesome. So however you have to process this, Virgo, it's just beauty on the other side of it. And it doesn't have to be so dark and heavy. But again, for some of you, it might be. But it's time, it's time. That's all they're saying. It's time. It's time to really let go of some things that just no longer serve you, to make that space for more beautiful things to come into your life. Let's see what else we have. Ancestors, show me clearly. What is the message for Virgo? What is the message for Virgo here? What is the message for Virgo? Show me clearly. What is the message, please? Show me for Virgo. What is the message? Thank you. All right, first card out we have, I love it, the Hermit. I mean, it might as well be the same card, guys. It might as well be, right? Because the Hermit is about taking time out, reassessing, letting go of things that don't serve you anymore, and allowing something new to come in, following what your soul wants. Your soul is saying, hey, there needs to be a shift. There needs to be a shift in the soul. Meaning that, okay, we had those experiences. We wanted to have those experiences at a soul level. And now it's time to reassess and find out what else the soul wants. And finding that inner wisdom, right, with the owl. And then going for it. Because that's the star, right, from the star card, from the star key. That's the star in that lantern. And then going for it. Right? And this is your card. So I don't feel like this is going to be hard for you, Virgo, because this is one of your natural processes. This is something you do very naturally. You know how to go within. You know how to shed old. You know how to reassess and go for something new. You're very good at those types of lessons. And it's just, I love it. I love the Hermit card. I love when I get into Hermit mode, right? It's a cleansing, if you will. A cleansing, the sweat lodge. Okay. So again, for some of you, it's going to be bigger things. And for some of you, it's going to be smaller things. But put in the comments, what are you ready to shed? What are you ready to let go of? What are you ready to sweat out? What blockages, and I don't even want to call them blockages, because we're not getting rid of something that we didn't need to learn a lesson from. Okay. I hope that makes sense. But we've learned the lesson. We've had the experience, and now it's time to move on. Some of you, it might be quitting a job, but it's not a bad job. It's just not fulfilling, right? It's not horrible. You don't hate going there every day, but it's not fulfilling for you. I'm getting so many different energies. So that's because there's a lot of you watching. So there's a lot of messages here. What do we have for Virgo, please? Show me clearly, ancestors. What do we have for Virgo? And I love that you show up in your own reading here. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. It's time to get back into alignment. When we have the Seven of Cups can talk about, we have a lot of options. We're not sure which way to go. I love this representation, though, because it has a nice, easy flow to this. But I am still getting this sense from your ancestors to kind of realign, okay? Because this is a card of getting in alignment, okay? So I really just feel like and it's emotions, right? Cups is emotions. Like maybe your emotions have been a little bit out of alignment. Maybe you felt like you wanted something, but you're kind of done with that, right? I love coffee. Do not get me wrong, guys. I love coffee. And I'll still drink coffee, but it's decaffeinated, right? It's just a shift. It's just about aligning to what either your body needs, your mind needs, your soul needs. But I love it because with this particular card, because there is that beautiful flow, I feel like you really follow the advice from Spirit and you do the work necessary, right? But just remember, it doesn't have to necessarily be hard for a lot of you. For some of you, it's going to be a big shift, but that's okay. It's a shift that your soul needs. Yeah, look at that, Daughter of Arrows. Yeah, you're learning something new here. The Daughter of Arrows would be the Page of Swords. It's like you're learning about yourself. It's like you're clearing out some, old things. It's not BS. It's things that you had to experience, but you're clearing it out. You want a new beginning here, right? Of a new thought process. And I do really feel like that because they got me swinging the sword, right? That's what I'm doing. If you didn't realize, because I didn't realize, but it's like you're swinging the sword and you're like, okay, I'm getting rid of the old and I want to have a new thought process here. I want to have a new vision towards this. I want to learn more about myself here, right? Because this is a card of learning, getting news, learning about yourself. And I feel like if you go through this little sweat lodge, process, you are going to learn something new about yourself and something that maybe you didn't realize you wanted, that your soul wanted to experience. Okay. Here's a really good example of that, guys. For the longest time, for years and years and years, I love to travel. I want to travel. I do travel. But I never had any desire to visit Asia. It was just not one of my top things, right? Like I went to Spain and there's other places that I wanted to go. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just was like, having one of these hermit moments, regarding travel. And I rearranged the order of the places I wanted to visit. And I just learned something in my soul. My soul said, no, you really do want to go here. Right. So it's kind of, for a lot of you, it's not very dramatic is what I'm trying to say. It's just a shift in what your soul wants. I love it. And that can apply to any area of your life. That's just an example they wanted me to share with you. Ancestors, show me clearly. Yeah, you're having a shift in what the soul wants, a shift in the soul, right? But it's good, okay? But it's really good because you have the 9 here. You're letting go of inner conflict. It says conflict on here. You're letting go of some inner conflict by going into hermit mode and saying, well, there's I feel like a little confusion. I feel like there's just a slight bit of confusion because for so long, for some of you, you wanted, this one thing, okay, and now you're rearranging it to another. Okay, but you're releasing the inner conflict, and that's really all they have on this. You're just releasing some inner conflict here. Let's see what else we have. Show me clearly. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I love this because you're getting a whole new excitement. You're expanding your horizons. For some of you, it's like you may not have felt limited, but there was a limitation on the possibilities. Okay? It's like you got so much into your one goal that you forgot that there's so much more out there, and you're expanding your vantage point, right? This is the 3 of feathers, which would be the 3 of wands. And now you're really saying, oh gosh, there's so much more out there for me to experience. Right? There's just so much more out there for me to experience. And you're kind of having this realization with the sweat lodge and the hermit by releasing the things that you've already done, the things that, have already served you, taught you lessons that no longer serve you, to open you up to so much more that's available for you to experience. Really expanding that, really seeing things, look at all that's out there, right? You're not on the ground, you're up in the tree and you're like, look at all that's out there. I want to experience that. So I love it. I really think that's amazing energy. So let's see what else we have here. Ancestors for Virgo. It's very pleasant, and that's the thing. The sweat lodge, I guess the sweat lodge could be uncomfortable for people because it gets very hot in there, but I've always loved heat. I'm just a heat person. I like heat. I like, saunas, like we had said before. I love humidity. I love the heat. I do love to sweat things out. So for me, it's not uncomfortable. And I feel for a lot of you, this isn't going to be very uncomfortable. You're actually going to enjoy the process. I don't know why they're having me say that, but you're going to know more than I am, Virgo. Let's see what else we have. Show me clearly for Virgo, please. What is the message? Yeah, this just opens your eyes up and your soul up to, so much more that's available to you. Just so much more. Yeah, look at Father of Feathers. I love that. That's the King of Wands. It's having a new passion, right? Like really going after something different. You kind of take on this energy where Virgo can be very kind of, to themselves, a little slow moving, very kind of methodical, which is always good. This is where you're like throwing a little bit of caution to the wind. Right? You figure out what your soul wants. When you come out of there, you're like, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to date somebody different. I'm going to travel somewhere different, right? You just see all the different things that maybe you had been missing before, and your soul is awakening. You say, hey, there is so much more out there. Let's go experience it. And you get that excitement that the King of Wands has, and you take action with it, because the Wands are always about taking action with it, right? So you might book a travel, you might, change a job, change career, you might date somebody different than you normally would. Whatever this is for you, you might change from coffee to tea, right? And realize, wow, I really enjoy tea. But again, it's going to be at different levels for you, but it's really beautiful energy, right? It's like getting out of the mundane is what I heard, right? So I love it. That's beautiful, Virgo. I love this for you. All right, let's see what else we have. Ancestors for Virgo. Ancestors for Virgo. What is the message, please? Show me clearly for Virgo. What is the message? Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Yeah, you're going to expand on your experiences. You want to have the different experiences here, too. I'm feeling that. Whew, what was that? Yeah, I love it. You're focusing here with the crystals, right? Crystals is very healing energy. So we got some big healing energy here, right? And in this particular card, it looks to me as if that's a ton of amethyst, right? And amethyst is about, in my mind, and there's a lot of meanings behind the amethyst crystals, but it's about focusing on having some incredible, and I do mean incredible experiences, right? Amethyst, tunes you into, the spiritual realm and your soul. And this is really like what, you're kind of going in and saying, hey, what is it that I want to experience? I feel like a lot of you are breaking some day-to-day mundane things that you do. Again, it's just going to be so different for all of you, Virgo. And they're throwing so much at me, but it's just like, focus on something new, right? Focus on something from up here instead of down here, right? Focus on what's out there and what you can go and do and see and travel, just really go for this. Having a new focus on new experiences and whatever those are that you want to create. And I think some of you don't even know what they are yet, because you won't know what they are until you do the sweat lodge. But when you come out, you're like, I want to do XYZ, I want to, whatever that is. I want to try this career. I want to date this new person. I want to travel to this place. I want to live in a different place. It's just going to be so different for all of you, but it's beautiful energy, right? A lot of us, yeah, I'm getting this. This is weird. I'm getting this. So for some of you, it's very much travel. For just, some of you. But it's like your whole life, you're like, I want to go here, and maybe you're planning for that, but you wind up not doing it for whatever reason, or you thought you wanted to go here, but you want to go there, but then you get stuck in the day-to-day. You can't kind of make up your mind, and then there's always an excuse. Well, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have this and that and the other, and then by the time, the end of days for you comes, you're like, why didn't I go do this? So make sure that you focus on those dreams. This is very dreamy, kind of blessed energy. I don't know if you can see like the spirit here. To me, that is spirit saying, hey, let's go see the mountain, right? Whatever this is, I don't know. For somebody out there, this is really important. If that's you, put it in the comments, okay? So let's see what we have here. Show me clearly. Show me clearly. What do we have for Virgo? Ancestors of Virgo. Show me clearly. What is the message here? Show me clearly. Show me clearly. What is the message, please? Show me clearly. What is the message? Thank you. Look at that. The Traveler. Oh my gosh. That really is for one of you. Move in a new direction. Well, it could be for all of you, right? You're shifting. Soul shift. A soul shift, right? I know I'm not trying to simplify it, but yeah, it's like I'm not going to drink coffee anymore. I'm going to try tea. I'm going to like tea, right? It's a shift. It's a new direction. For some of you, it's going to be career. For some of you, it's going to be in your dating life. You're shifting towards a different type of person. You're giving new people a shot that you wouldn't normally, because you've been very stuck on your type, right? For some of you, this is actual travel. Moving because you want to live in a new direction, or just travel for the experiences of those vacations, right? So I love that. I love that came out. And I love the other card that came out with it, because you guys had two, which is Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts. Yeah, trust that this is what you're supposed to do, right? Trust in you, okay? Trust in you. Hermit, trust in you. So beautiful energies, Virgo. I love it. A soul shift. That's really what this comes down to, is a soul shift. I feel like for a lot of you, you've already experienced everything you needed to up to this point, and it's time to refocus, right? On a new experience. Let's not get stuck in the day-to-day. Show me clearly, please. Show me clearly. What is the message? Thank you. All right, so we have here breathe. I love this. I love this. This makes so much sense, right? Slow down and contemplate the tea. Oh, that's funny. I think they're just joking with me on that one. Violets and ivy tangled around the eaves, which is basically just saying, take a moment, guys. Take a moment. Okay, just like it says with the sweat lodge and the hermit, take a moment. Follow, the new path of the soul, right? Let that soul shift happen. So I love this for you, Virgo. Listen, if this resonates, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to check out your weekly readings for your runes and moons on the Runes and Moons channel. Links are in the description box below. And as always, Virgo, all of my love and light to you.